Welcome back to another episode of Nerds Day Out. I am your host, Jaquat, along with my co-host,
Hollywood,
and we are back after a quite a big break actually. It's been weird, um, but we are back nevertheless, and we're hopefully gonna be getting back into the rotation of weekly uploads, or at least that's the goal. Even if I have to just make filler content. But this week is not filler content, thankfully.
Hey man, don't knock filler. It works for anime.
Hey man, I like some filler content. That whole Kakashi filler slash backstory, which I guess isn't really filler, but you know.
No, unmasked Kakashi is filler.
Oh, yeah, because no one still knows. Or do we know? I don't know. Doesn't matter. I'm pretty sure he probably looks pretty boring under there.
I mean, didn't they? I think they revealed young Kakashi.
I don't know. I don't remember. But anyway, really quick updates before we get started. One, Harriet Tubman Demon Slayer. I did get an email for that, and it is shipping out soon, so hopefully we'll have that in our possession soon. I'll probably read it first, pass it off to Hollywood so he can read it, and then do our giveaway.
Did yours come with a PDF?
I don't know.
My one fall came with a PDF. Your Harriet Tubman might come with a PDF. So I would keep checking your emails. There'll be like a link to like a Dropbox or something like that.
Yeah.
With the PDF in it.
Either way, I read digital anyway, so I'm sure I'll find a way to read it and keep my copies in pristine condition. And, you know, that also benefits whoever receives the giveaway number 2 issue.
I mean, I purchased the digital copies of 1 and 2. I just hadn't gotten around to reading them.
It'd be like that. I've been slacking, honestly. I haven't been reading like I should. And I partially blame our lackluster recording sessions or missing recording sessions because I'm like, I don't want to read something and want to talk about it and then not be able to talk about it, you know?
I mean, I hear you.
But, I mean, it is what it is. Aside from that, I've been binge watching the crap out of everything. I finished the last 2 seasons of Arrow, which that's supposed to be done now. So, you know, well, dude, I was freaking 5 seasons in, so I might as well have
I gave up on
finished.
Arrow after like season 2, so I literally only watched the crossover episodes. Same goes with Supergirl.
Oh yeah. I mean, I plan on watching Supergirl eventually, but right now it's not high tier on my list, such as, you know, Legends. That's not very high. But I did finish season 14 of Supernatural. Yay for that. Finish Lucifer.
I'm at like the halfway point of Supernatural. Where like Dean is suddenly Dean again.
I feel like they stick more to like storyline than like random Scooby Doo stuff this time.
Well, I guess they're trying to like
wrap it up.
Storyline,
yeah. But dude, that ending. I don't want to throw any spoilers out there, but that ending.
Then don't.
It just kind of leaves you like, whoa, what's gonna happen next? That's all I'm gonna say. Finished up Lucifer, or at least the last season. Again.
What do you think about the Netflix turning?
I don't know. I feel like they were sending with the way the season ended, it makes me question where they're gonna go with the next season. That's how I feel about it.
It does, but I feel like watching it, like it was clearly obvious that took a different direction in how to represent the show.
Yeah.
Based on the the format they had to be put out. Like I think some of the stuff, like especially like the way they display Lucifer and the formation of his body and all that stuff like that. Yeah. I think a lot of that stuff they probably couldn't have gone as far with it on Fox.
Probably not.
So
I feel like Fox is one of those networks that kind of like fall off with the longer something runs.
Yeah. But they definitely got away from the the team partner crime stuff a bit. I mean, they did solve some crimes, but it wasn't heavily focused like watching an episode a month or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it wasn't heavily focused on just solving crimes. There was a lot more character based, driven storyline this season around.
No.
I liked it. I seen a lot of people complain. I guess because it wasn't the same thing that they were used to. But I liked the change. I thought it was pretty cool. Like they really delved more
into
character development.
But I think that also goes back to like how many episodes were they getting before? Like 24, I think, or 20 or something. I think at minimum 12.
Yeah, I think at minimum 12. I think at most they had like 18 or 20 or something.
But I know that season was shorter because it only got 10 episodes. So when you only have 10 episodes, you have to kind of push for more character development and a more tightly knitted timeline. Also, you have to think about it like this. This is Netflix's first pickup season of this show. So they're trying to do a lot with it without kicking out a crap ton of money because they don't know how much it's going to get streamed, you know?
Well, yeah, but I mean, you expect a lot of streams just because of the fan base for the show.
Yeah. I mean,
like, let's not fool ourselves. The whole Twitter rally is the main reason why the show got picked up somewhere else. Everybody tweeting "Save Lucifer" or whatever. That thing had a big fan rally.
Yeah. Lucifer, and then I finished Love, Death, Robot. I know I'm late.
And for season 2.
And I'll explain why I'm late on a lot of these. And I'm in the middle of watching Black Mirror from season 1.
Which I'm starting Black Mirror?
Dude, I didn't know it was like 5 seasons in. First off. Because I didn't know it was that long running.
Yeah, it started off with like BBC or something like that.
Well, that explains a lot. That actually explains a lot. Like, not to be sarcastic.
What you mean, like the fact that there's all British actors for like the first 2 seasons?
Well, I'm still in season 1, but yes. It also explains some of the plot lines because British television, no offense, is kind of weird. I mean, you got to be kind of weird if you dream up Doctor Who, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, but I mean, Black Mirror is nothing more weird than Twilight Zone.
Oh yeah,
that's essentially all it is. A modern, up-to-date Twilight Zone.
Yeah. And then Umbrella Academy is up next for me. Also, continuously watching anime, of course. Huh?
Umbrella Academy watched me.
If you haven't already, I highly suggest picking up The Rising of the Shield Hero. Hint, hint, wink, wink. Can he get caught up?
I think I'm almost caught up.
Black Clover is still ongoing. Still watching that.
Yeah.
Dude, it was good, and I don't know how you fell behind.
How? I stopped watching.
I think you fell behind because of My Hero.
Maybe.
My Hero and Attack on Titan.
No, that's a lie.
Why?
What are we on, like part 3 of season 2 of Attack on Titan?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still
part 2.
I'm still on part 1 of season 2.
Oh. Part 2 of season 3.
I watched it, and then I didn't watch it, but it was watching me. And then I tried to watch it again, and I didn't understand what the hell was going on.
I see.
So.
All right, what was the other one we were watching? There was one more we were watching.
But I think I'm like 3 episodes away from the end of Shield Hero.
Dragon Ball Super.
There's no new episodes for that.
No, but that was part of the reason why you fell behind. Yeah.
Possibly.
And there's one more anime I know we were watching. Tokyo Ghoul.
Yes, that had to be watched.
But yeah. I mean it's a good watch. There's not an extreme amount of filler. And honestly with where they just ended just now, I would binge if I was me and I hadn't watched it already, I would binge watch up to current and not be extremely disappointed with where it's going.
I mean, if we're being honest here, just be happy for me that I finally finished One Punch Man season 1.
Dude, I still haven't started on that. No offense to anybody who's a One Punch fan, but I just don't see the hype.
I mean, it's parody, but I guess it's parody to the point that at some point it becomes serious, and then you're like, okay.
I think it got a fan base behind it, and that's why I got serious. But you and I both know I'm not a huge parody person. I'm not a huge comedy person either. But I'd rather watch regular comedy over a parody.
Yeah, but like I think at some point, like I said,
it got serious.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you watched the update video, you got a lot of updates last week. One of the things that I didn't mention last week that I'm doing this week or have started on this week is I started a soundboard. And I've been looking for software to run a soundboard. Not very successful. There's only a few things that actually utilize soundboards via PC without using extra hardware from what it seems. I think that's kind of silly. I don't see why you can't just use a keyboard shortcut to run a soundboard. That's just me. But speaking of soundboard, is there any specific sounds that you can think of that you might want to add to this?
Not really.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand. They ask.
If you had a headset, it'd be funnier.
Oh. Ha 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 ha.
Have you ever seen the I think it was Katy Perry interview where she says they ask you if you're fine, but you're not really fine, but you can't really get into it? You've never heard that? Oh my god. Oh, but reason
I
why
get what she's saying,
but reason why I'm just now watching all of these Netflix originals is because I had planned on watching them with a certain somebody, but the certain somebody is still getting caught up with present day. We're not gonna call no names. But we are watching Riverdale now too, so been freaking multi-binge watching.
Riverdale's crazy. I gotta go back because it was just playing in the background at work. And next thing I know, like 9 episodes that went by.
Dude, we sat down Sunday and like binged the crap out of it. We're like episode 14 or so. That's the other thing. It takes us a while to watch like a 20-something odd season. Especially when the episodes are like 45 minutes to an hour each. It just because we only get to watch like 2 per day, if that. But back to the soundboard. If anybody has any recommendations as to what sounds we should drop in, that'd be greatly appreciated. Leave your suggestions in the comments down below. Thank you. Is that enough updates for today?
Yeah, sure. I mean, that might cover everything.
Really quickly, the 3 comics that I read, and I don't know if you want to go first or I go first, but I read Flash, Venom, and Archie versus Sharknado.
Go for it.
Alright, so first and foremost, we'll start with Flash. And Actually, no. We'll start with Venom. Dang it! Spoiler alerts. Spoiler alert starts now. For those of you who are not reading, and this goes for you too, Rashad. Because I know you haven't caught up. All right, Hollywood. Spoiler alert. And this, it was issue number 11 of Venom. It's not even that far in, but I know we both were up to like issue number 10. But like I said, I took a break. Basically, Venom is Eddie's in the hospital, and the other Richards is like prodding at him, and he's like, "I think he has cancer, but in order to find out if he has cancer, I might have to kill him." Because he has to get the symbiote off of him to find out if he really has cancer. So through these like dreams, and I'm paraphrasing a lot because it actually wasn't a lot of detail in this comic. It was just kind of drawn out. But basically, from the grand scheme of it, the symbiote has been faking Eddie's test results to make it seem like he has cancer. Even more so, he implanted memories of a fake sister and a fake uncle who died of cancer. And Eddie's confronting the symbiote about this, like, no, this isn't real. Do I even have cancer? I don't know. And so Eddie wakes up, and Eddie's trying to get out, and ending, spoiler alert, and like I said, it was fairly short comic, not a whole lot of detail in it. But basically, Eddie comes to grips and realizes that his little brother is not actually his little brother, it's his son. Bum, bum, bum.
From that one night at prom, huh?
Big oof.
Should have strapped up. Scrap up, younger.
But yeah, man, just like weird. So does that make you want to go back and read some more Venom?
I mean, I'm gonna go back and read some more Venom anyway. I kind of own all of them. Paul puts everything Venom in my box every week that it comes out.
I still haven't gone back.
And I buy it, and it sits in the bag. That's essentially what's going on right about now.
If it makes you feel any better, I keep finding comics that I haven't bagged and boarded and sorted.
But yeah, I'm in the process of doing that now and going through old comics.
I probably won't do that for another week and a half or so.
I'm trying to go through old comics because I'm going to try and sell a random box of random.
I need another box of random before I can do that. I think I gave away a lot of my random.
I know I sent a lot of my random to Second Charles.
Yeah.
But I need cash.
And then Flash was a crossover with Batman. And if you aren't current with Flash, which I'm not, but where I'm at, issue number 64 of Flash, Rebirth, 2016. Well, we're in 2019, but it started 2016. Wally's dead. Redhead Wally's dead. Currently, from what I know. They don't know who killed him. But basically, if you've read Batman, you know who Gotham Girl is, and Gotham Girl shows up in Flash comics. So naturally, you have to have Batman cameo. And it's always fun to watch Batman and Barry work side by side because of those detective mindsets. And so basically, they get attacked by somebody attacks the Flash Museum. Spoiler, it was Gotham Girl. But she attacks there, leaves a leaf that allowed Barry to track them to a specific island because the pesticide used on the leaf is only legal on this island. Every other country outlawed it. So,
what does that tell you about that pesticide?
It's that Crenat. But long story short, they go to this island and they find basically pods of Gotham Man or Gotham. I don't know. Her brother. They found like pods of him like cloned, and they do a reverse engineering to figure out these pods. And basically, Bruce says they look like the cryogenic freeze pods, Mr. Fry's. His pods that he kept Nora in. But basically, from what it looks like, was it didn't really suspend them, more so as it was pumping venom into their veins. So, like, I guess the same venom that Bane uses.
It's the only venom I know in the DC universe.
Which basically was killing. I don't know if it was killing them or like it was just supercharging them. But then, like, Gotham Girl shows up. She wakes up a bunch of pods of her brother. And next thing you know, you got ass beat down of Bruce and Barry by 50 something people who can go toe to toe with freaking Superman. But, you know, I do like that they don't just flat out explain what happened to Wally thus far just yet. I am sad that they killed Wally. I have hopes that they bring him back because Wally was my favorite Flash. And if they don't bring him back, I might just quit reading Flash.
Well, yeah, I don't know what to say about that.
That's a big statement, guys. But enough of that. See, that's the thing. I haven't read a lot. But on to Archie versus Sharknado. It was definitely weird. It was basically a cheesy version of Sharknado in the Archie universe. I do think it's funny that they made
a cheesy version of Sharknado. That's heavy-handed.
It gave me gas. I guess that doesn't take much cheese either.
No.
I mean, it was cheesy. I mean, I don't know how else to explain it. And they kind of like, I think it's funny because they kind of gave nods to the original movie with how they ended it all. They were like, oh, we'll just blow it up. That's what they did in LA. They also gave nods because it started out in DC. Betty and Veronica had to get to back to Riverdale to save the rest of their city. And man, dude, reading Archie in comic makes me realize how much of a hoe Archie is. I always forget he strung along Betty and Veronica in the comics because they don't do that in the show. But even worse, he like strings along Cheryl. He started out with Betty.
And then he ended up cheating on Betty with Veronica.
Yes.
And then he stayed with Veronica.
No, it was Cheryl.
No.
He had a thing with Cheryl for like an episode.
Nah, Cheryl like tongued him down or something, but they didn't have a thing. He had a legit thing with Veronica. That's what ended the thing with Betty. And then Betty suddenly realized that she actually had a thing for Jughead this whole time.
I mean, Archie's always been a hoe. We'll just say that.
And then he had a thing with Josie.
Had. Where I'm at, he's having a thing with Josie.
Again?
Yeah.
Right, because Veronica's now got a thing with the little Chinese jock guy, right?
Reggie.
Yeah.
I mean, he had a thing with Josie. No, he didn't. It was her bandmate. Anyway, Archie's a hoe. But I mean, it was cheesy. They even gave nods to the fact that Sabrina and Riverdale are in the same universe. I always find that really interesting and really funny because it's like, oh, magic exists in this universe. But there is so much effed up crap that happens in Riverdale. Especially if you're watching the show. And I had to explain to Amy why Archie, Veronica, Betty, and Jughead are just like A-okay. No matter what happens, they are going to be perfectly fine. Nothing can happen to those 4 characters. Because there was
Yeah, the pivots in the story.
Well, yeah. There was one scene where we thought Archie could have died. And I was like, nah, he's not going to die. Literally, the show rotates around him. Mostly.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's a heavy pinpoint. I think it mostly revolves around Jughead.
Yeah, it does. The comic rotates around Archie, so therefore you expect him to be A-okay in the show.
But now they got their spinoffs, which I haven't read any of. I plan on reading Jughead the Hunger, which is apparently Jughead is a werewolf, and there's Vampironica, which is apparently Ronnie as a vampire. Then there's Jughead the Hunger meets Vampironica. And I guess that's a crossover.
That sounds like erotic fiction.
And there's Blossom 666. So Cheryl and her brother are Satan's spawn, born of a jackal. And there's another one. I can't remember what the other one was.
The zombie apocalypse?
Yeah, there's one with the zombie apocalypse. But there's also a Scooby-Doo zombie apocalypse thing, which I've been meaning to read as well.
Scooby-Doo Apocalypse?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I've been meaning to read that. I also read the first issue of the zombie one. I can talk about it a little bit. I only read issue number 1.
Mm-hmm.
But basically and it still gives nod to the fact that Sabrina is in the same universe because it wouldn't have been possible without her.
Oh, now there's also Archie and Sabrina now too.
Yeah. But they
So I assume Archie smashing Sabrina now. I don't know.
Probably.
Whole bag.
Probably.
Whole bag got you.
But basically Reggie hits dog meat. No, not dog meat. What's his dog's name? Hot Dog. If you don't know who Dog Meat is, go play Fallout 4. But Reggie hits Hot Dog, and Jughead goes to Sabrina to try and resurrect Hot Dog, but you know, necromancy is weird. Sometimes you get it right, sometimes you don't.
Right.
Yeah. And Hot Dog comes back as a zombie. Hot Dog bites Jughead. And of course, there's a dance going on this night. So Jughead makes his way to the dance, thinking he's going to go warn people. And he's about to start the zombie apocalypse. Because he's zombies out before he even gets there.
Yeah, well, there's that. Take down Jughead early, huh?
I'm curious where they're going to go with that because Aunt Zelda and Aunt, what's the other one? Hilda lock away Sabrina for like a year. So they got a whole year to play with for the zombie apocalypse to happen before Sabrina even comes back to fix anything. And the way they portray Hilda and Zelda in this story arc make them seem like more of the evil kind of step aunts than like somebody who would step in and fix the mess for Sabrina. So I don't foresee them stepping in to fix it.
Sounds neat. It's definitely still on my list. So I'll get to it at some point in life.
Yeah, well, I might be reading comics tomorrow. I'm supposed to stream tomorrow at 7.
I will be driving.
Well, I joined a Discord to help boost my streaming, but I haven't been streaming as of late because I've been busy with planning and the cruise and, you know, just hadn't really felt like it. But they're trying to get everyone to affiliate in the server. so I have to stream in order to get affiliate. So go figure.
Life finds a way.
Yeah. I mean, so that's the thing.
In the words of Ian Malcolm.
But hopefully I'll be which this won't be up till Friday, so you guys won't even hear this until it's too late. But also give me a birthday shout out when you guys do watch this. If you made it this far, leave it in the comments. Shameless plug. Anyway, I'm gonna pass the mic over to Hollywood.
Alright, so I haven't read very much. Mostly due to life and work. And then there was E3 this week. So
Ooh, we could have talked about E3, but I didn't watch it.
well, I didn't really watch E3. I just kind of watched the highlights of E3.
I skimmed through Square Enix.
Yeah, Square Enix was a bunch of RPGs. The Final Fantasy VII Remake, we got a lot of gameplay from that, and an actual release date.
What's the release date?
March 3rd, 2020, something like that.
I gotta wait a whole year?
Not a whole year.
Close enough.
I mean, you've been waiting 30 years now as it is anyway. They're giving you the remake sooner than they gave you Kingdom Hearts 3. So just accept it.
I don't even want to talk about that. Like, that is still reeling. Because I still feel like it wasn't a lot of gameplay.
I mean,
and there was, like, no replay value.
They announced DLC or something like that?
They announced DLC for Kingdom Hearts 3. That's coming out this winter. They announced a crap ton of mini RPGs. I saw they
DLC for Monster Hunter World today too.
I already knew the DLC was coming for that. They have been announced that. It's up for buy right now.
Well, they did gameplay.
Yeah.
I watched Xavier Woods and Oscar.
Dude, I'm so jealous. I'm like, I saw him on SmackDown. He was like, "Let's get done with this." So I go back to E3, and I'm like, I know they announced a lot of mobile RPGs and probably some mini RPGs. I don't know what platforms they're putting everything on. But I did see the Final Fantasy VIII remake announcement. I'm curious how
really
long.
Sure if it's gonna be a remake though, or if it's gonna be like
a remaster.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm curious to see what direction they take with that.
First of all, well, I guess I'll let it slide since it's in numerical order. But we should be talking Final Fantasy IX remake, not 8. Final Fantasy IX is the greatest Final Fantasy of all time. Fight me, don't at me.
Nah, you can't complain. I spent a lot of time playing Final Fantasy IX.
But 8 is boss too. But though I was looking at all those RPG remakes and remasters being released, and I was like, but where's Legends of the Dragoon though? But that's a whole other rant. So yeah, there was E3, and then some cool games announced there.
Definitely and Dragon Quest.
They definitely making me lean harder towards the Switch. Nintendo came hard with their joint.
And Marvel. Which I'm seeing a lot of memes and a lot of hate. I'm seeing a lot of hate from that, but in my mind, I'm like, it didn't look that bad. The gameplay for it looked awesome.
It didn't, but I need more. As it stands now, until I see more on that, as far as I'm concerned, this joint ain't gonna be nothing but DCU Online, the Marvel version.
Well, you're playing as like the freaking characters though. So it's not like DC Online. DC Online, you created a new character and proceeded to develop your superpower.
I'm aware.
Anywho, back to what you read. You're all of like one comic you read this week.
I won't say this week since I've been absent for like 3.5 months.
Has it really been that long?
No, it hasn't really been 3.5 months. Probably been like a month and a half, maybe 2. I finally finished up Black Panther and the Crew, and it was pretty decent, but I could tell it was a rushed ending because it got canceled. So they kind of just try to wrap everything up in the 5 issues that they had. Kind of sad it got canceled. I feel like there probably could have been a lot more potential to come out of that team up. It was really cool. They did the whole civil rights thing and the it be your own people thing for a minute there. And freaking Hydra is everywhere. Essentially, Hydra was at the root of civil disturbance. Like, Hydra was like, hey, let's make these black people hate cops.
Doesn't take much.
So, there's that. That was pretty good. I read House of Whispers #1. That was earlier this week. And I know I'm like way behind as far as that's concerned. Again, fight me, don't at me. I think they came out like, I think they started that series in like November-ish.
I don't know. I'm not reading it.
Well, the cover got me. But it was pretty interesting. It's right down that alley of things I like. The ethnic lore. It's like Voodoo goddesses type deal. It's heavy ethnic. So I'm all for a good comic with good POC characters and storyline, and that's pretty much what this is. Like it's based out of New Orleans, so it's got a lot of that lore to it. The hoodoo mumbo jumbo type deal. And they're in this land called like the Dreaming. I guess that's where they're the most powerful at. It's pretty cool. I need to read more of it and actually like get into it. I would like to probably I didn't take really I just kind of read stuff. I didn't really take notes on it like I normally do. So my talking points sound really sloppy this time around. But if you're into any of that stuff, like
At him.
if you're into any of that stuff, you know what I'm saying, go pick that up, give it a read. So far from the first issue, it seems pretty neat. They kind of break into everything. There's like a god of pestilence type deal, or whatever, disease and stuff like that. And he's banned from walking the earth realms, but he broke out, kind of, whatever. And I want to say that was like 7 issues in. So I'm like, wow. But I got like the first 3. Like, that's one of those comics that I was like buying because it was like, oh, this looks interesting. I don't want to fall behind on it. And I hadn't read it, so I just stopped buying it. And I'm going to read what I have and then catch up. As much as I love Riri, I'm sad to say that I just finally read issue 1 of Ironheart like 3 days ago. And it's pretty interesting. So I realized like I knew they wanted to make her stand alone. I just didn't realize they were gonna pretty much like immediately jump to separating her from Tony Stark. So there's absolutely no mention of Tony in this in the first issue. She has a completely different iron suit. Like she's completely redone her iron suit. It looks nothing like the originals that she had and the Incredible Iron Man run that she had, or Invincible Iron Man, was it? Invincible, I think. But it looks nothing like the suit that she had during the Iron Man run. And she doesn't even have the Tony AI anymore. Like, the Tony AI is gone. She's in the process of trying to build her own AI. And basically, like, she's basically pulling a Tony Stark to build her own AI. Like, she's uploading herself into algorithms and her own, like, mind of decisions and this, that, and the third for it to build an AI for her. Like she's essentially like, "Ha, this is me, and this is how I respond to this. This is how I look at this." Blah blah blah.
I feel like yes and no. I feel like Tony never built an AI that was basically himself.
Riri had the AI that was himself.
That was himself? You mean was Tony?
Yeah, it was flat out Tony.
Well, yeah.
Like he uploaded his mind on that day.
Yeah, but I don't think he ever intended to use it for himself.
No, but I mean, he still did it. But the thing is, like, so she's trying to create an AI, and she has like no idea where this is gonna go, and she's doing all this, and come to find out at the end of the episode, the end of the issue, her AI kind of reveals itself to her through a hologram, and it turns out that she's recreated her childhood best friend who got killed in the drive-by as her AI. So that ends pretty heavy. I'm gonna turn to issue 2 at some point in life, and then follow up like 3, 4, 5, 6, which I think I all have sitting at the house.
I mean, eventually I'll get to it.
And I finished Extermination. No, excuse me. I did not finish Extermination. I'm 1 issue away from Extermination. Again, super behind the curve. And that's what led to that whole resurfacing of Legion, I think. Or yeah. I don't remember. Not gonna lie. Well, this is the whole like young Cable killed old Cable because old Cable was letting everybody mess up the timeline instead of doing his job like he was supposed to do. And then they find out that the Ahab guy was trying to kill just one of the original X-Men. Because if he kills one of the original X-Men, pretty much all the mutant kind is doomed. Like 40 years into the future from the original.
Just one?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that makes sense though. You remove one X-Men, then it drastically alters like their whole stepping stones that they did for help with mutant kind. You take away one X-Men and the battle that they had with such and such doesn't quite go the way that it did before. They actually lose this battle. Or they barely win this battle, but in the process of winning this battle, they lost other X-Men. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, that was pretty much the thing. He just wanted to kill one of them. It didn't matter who, as long as one of them died.
Oh, so he's not even being picky.
Nah. Kill them all.
I can't be mad at him. He's a flexible villain.
Right. You tell him that too. It's like, oh, why are you so worried about killing me? He said, it's really not just you. You happen to be here, but really any of you will do.
He's a flexible villain.
So,
I like that.
There's that. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Oh, I read Stranger Things.
Yeah, I didn't plan on reading that.
Yeah. I think I talked about that last time. Though.
Yeah, I don't plan on reading that. Mostly because I feel like it's just a rehash of the show.
It's not. It's the in-between stuff, but like, you don't really need it.
It's the in-between stuff that you would have liked to have while you were watching the show.
Right. So like
you did talk about it.
Right. The first 4 issues are like about Will Byers in the Upside Down and how he survives in the Upside Down, which is cool. They never showed that. I guess he survived off of thoughts, hopes, and dreams, bro, and discarded Twinkies.
Just don't let Tallahassee find those.
Twinkies live in the in-between.
That's where all the freaking Twinkies went from Zombieland.
So, yeah. There's that, and I got I read they did like a free comic book day issue.
Yeah.
Which just picked up at the same point of, what I'm saying, he's still. Oh no, the free comic book day issue picked up after he'd gotten back.
Okay.
And it was like the conversation that, not Will, but the other one that was in love with 11.
Yeah,
his sister had with him about them getting themselves back together or whatever. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So that one kind of fell in between 1 and 2.
Okay. I think that this is a good like stopping point for discussion for things we've read. Let's really quickly turn to things we want to read. Doing something new, something fresh. Because I forgot to say this earlier, so I'm just making a new segment. Why not? I do plan on going back and reading some more Batman because in the Flash issue that I read, they did mention the relationship between Bruce and Selina, and Bruce didn't want to talk about it, so it makes me curious what happened with that because I know they had like a Joker appearance during that time frame
They had
too.
a whole wedding that didn't go through. I think she left him at the altar.
No spoilers. No spoilers, please.
No, I mean I didn't read it. I'm just saying I think that's what happened.
I don't know.
There was a whole wedding arc. And then like there ended up with like spinoffs where like Harley was trying to keep the Joker from showing up at the wedding. I have those two. So I do know that much. Like he planned on showing up at the wedding and I don't know if he was gonna try and mess it up or do some typical Joker stuff. I don't know.
I do know they had a Joker appearance during that time frame, so it wouldn't surprise me. That's on my list. Reading.
I can't get jiggy with canon Batman.
I know.
There's just too much.
Detective Comics. I plan on reading some of that because that delves more into like the Robins or the Bat family stories.
I got the 1000th issue
with Joker.
Yeah, I'm gonna read it at some point in life.
Plan on reading some Titans, Teen Titans, Super Sons. And Green Lantern and Green Lanterns. No, wait. Hal Jordan and the Green Lanterns and Green Lanterns. 2 separate comics. Those are on my list to read. That's it for RSDC. Things I want to read on Marvel. I want to finish 2012 Thor. I want to read Spectacular Spider-Man, where Octavius is Pete. Superior Spider-Man. Thank you. Of course, continuing to read Venom. I need to catch up on Iron Man, Ironheart. I do want to read some current Thor. And I do want to hop back into X-Men. I just don't know when I want to do that. I know. It's always so intimidating for X-Men.
I'm about to leave X-Men in the same pile as Spider-Man. It's entirely too many.
See, that's the thing is I want to be selective about things with Marvel because I look at them and it gets overwhelming really quick.
Yeah, X-Men Red was pretty good, but I think X-Men Red is done. And now they've got that Apocalypse. They started a new Apocalypse arc with Mr. X or whatever.
Yeah.
The X-Man or some whatever it is.
Yeah.
So like that's a wide overarching arc. And I've got like the first issues of the recent X-Force run. Again, paid for like the first 4 issues. I have not read one corner of a sliver of a square. So yeah, I got a lot of work to do. Mostly stop spending frivolous money on stuff that I'm not going to get around to reading. Hence the other reason why I've been dropping down to limited run issues and just trying to switch.
No, I can't blame you.
Because current stuff, man, if I can't read, like I just said, Batman, unless it's an art that just, somebody brings up and it sounds really cool or like Joker related, then I'm with it. Other than that, man, miss me with that. Catch me with the one shots. So
no, I get you. And I'll be honest, the only reason why I'm still reading Batman thus far is because I started out reading 2016 Batman because I think there was an early Joker appearance in this one. So I was like, bump it, might as well. Jokes and riddles.
Yeah.
That's what got me.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Also, always wait until after whatever arc ends to read Justice League because I'd much rather read that in bulk than sit down and freaking read that week by week. Usually the villains are more badass.
Yeah. So as it stands for Batman, I
one shot in it.
Yeah.
Well, and Joker in it.
So I got the Batman Who Laughs is on my list, which I haven't picked up a issue since after the Grim Knight. I'm sure they're all in my box because it's on my pull list. I gotta go and get them. I got Batman: The Last Night on Earth, which is in my pool. It's Greg Capullo and Scott Snyder's final work together, and I think it's only supposed to be like 3 or 4 issues. So that's cool. And definitely looking forward to the Bitterroot summer issue. That's supposed to be dropping, I think, the end of this month or the beginning of next month. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. Definitely ready for that. I'm gonna dive back into the Green Lantern series.
Yeah, that's on my list too.
So I'm gonna take that step at some point. Peter Parker Through the Ages, or Spider-Man Through the Ages, or whatever. I've got like the first 3 issues and I haven't cracked one yet. But I am planning on reading that. And it's probably going to be one of those things that's going to be better for me once I've got them all, since it's only supposed to be 4 issues. And I can just read all 4 issues at one time. I'll probably enjoy it better that way instead of reading one and then waiting. Everything that is Carnage and Carnage adjacent has been added to my pull list.
Okay.
So
I wasn't aware they were doing a Carnage series.
Man, it's like Carnage Unleashed or whatever. It's gonna be a wide arc. Like, I'll send you the picture of the list with all the comics on it. It is a wide arc. Like, it's gonna hit several different comics as well as Venom and Spider-Man's and whatever.
Okay.
So it's essentially it's gonna be an event thing. It's gonna be an event, or whatever, event comic, and it's gonna be by Donny Cates. So all for it with Donny Cates. Donny Cates be the bomb. I also just released today. Today's Wednesday, right? Yeah, just released today. Yeah. The
for them it's Friday.
Silver Surfer Black had just released, and I told him to pull it for me, Paul, and I'm looking forward to reading that, seeing how Donny Cates' take on the Silver Surfer is. He's gonna do a full origin of the man, the myth underneath the power cosmic.
See, I feel like your list is like more significant than mine.
Well, I mean, you have a lot of like steady stuff that you like to read, character wise, and I'm just more of a short burst person. I really like the short stories because it doesn't require me to have to read like the next 20 issues to get the full gist of the story. You know what I'm saying? Because
I mean, I get what you're saying.
Opened up and done, and you also get some really cool ideas when somebody just shops out hey, I got this idea for this character, and I want to use them, and it's only going to take 4 issues or 5 issues, and they're like, all right, cool, do what you're going to do.
I get what you're saying, but I'm committed to a few people, like Wally West, Barry Allen, actually both Wally West now, every Robin ever. Except for those Stephanie Brown people.
If I read everything that I felt like I was committed to as favorite characters, I would be super duper broke. Think about it, man. I stepped away from X-Men. You know how much I love X-Men. I stepped away from X-Men. It's just too much X-Men.
I know.
Between X-Factor and X-Force and X-Men Red and Blue and Yellow and 92 X-Men and Uncanny X-Men. And
this is why I read more digital.
And I think there's another somebody, X-Men 96 something. Yeah, it's too much.
I also plan on going back to read Revival.
Oh yeah, that is definitely on my list of things to finish. But like I said, I knocked off one thing, and I'm just kind of like randomly going through my list of what to knock out, and also trying to read what I have this sitting around. I think the biggest thing, like my biggest focus right now, is going through everything that I have sitting around and making sure I've at least redeemed my digital codes. So even if I leave the books in the box, at least I have my digital code that I can go back to on Comics Hollywood and just read my digital copy of it.
No, I feel you.
So that's really been my biggest focus right now, and then trying to read some comic books in between, whatever I can. Also, Aliens 3. Aliens 3. I need to finish that. It's not finished yet.
Speaking of 3, so how hyped are you about this Ghostbusters? More?
I need more.
What do you mean? What more can you ask for?
An actual trailer?
They gave you a trailer.
No, they gave me the Ecto-1 in a barn and the music. That is not a trailer. That is barely even a hand job.
Dude, I saw Mr. Stay Puft.
That is edgy.
For all of our 18 and under audience, don't worry about that. Dude.
I mean, I'm hyped that we get the Ghostbusters game re-released. That's gonna be dope.
You're wanting to see if they're gonna expand on it, is what you're saying.
I need more. Okay, I know that Bill Murray is signed up, and whoever else is still alive, Dan Aykroyd, right?
So are you? So it's not a re-release from the game one last gen, right?
Are you talking about the game or the movie?
The game.
The game is a re-release.
Okay.
The movie, we've only got a teaser for.
Dude, no, I'm not talking about the movie. I need more for that. But like you said, so
no, the game, the game is a re-release of the one that was released on PlayStation.
Yeah. So how hyped are you about that?
I'm hyped as long as it comes out for like $30.
Because I know we played it and I know we loved it, but we couldn't really do too much with it beyond like complete the storyline because that was during the days of having disc.
Yeah, and one system really.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I'm hyped to actually play it multiplayer now because I never got a chance to play it multiplayer before. So I'm hyped to actually get the chance to play it multiplayer. But yeah, I mean, I love the game. I'm all set for it to come out. I will be copying it. Hopefully, it's not $60 for something that they just.
Dude, just give it a couple weeks. It'll drop. Matter of fact, let me check on the price of something that I said was gonna drop. Boom, Devil May Cry 5. You wanna know how much it is right now?
Probably $40.
Exactly. And this is why you wait some time. Like, I feel like I know I'm late with trying to play this, but dude, seriously, like with my luck in the past couple of games and buying them brand new, I've been very disappointed and very dissatisfied. So you game companies out there, if you're listening and you hear this, hear it in my voice. Get your shit together. That is all. But I think this is a good podcast for not being very prepared. We're at about we're coming up on an hour and about 30 seconds. So I know you're about ready to go. I'm ready to go to bed because it's late, much later than I usually go to bed. And I got a stream tomorrow, so I don't want to be up all night because it might be a late night tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm definitely. I gotta go home. I got a pack for tomorrow.
Yeah, you gotta do that.
Yeah.
Anyway, tell Mama I said, hey, I'm sorry I can't make it. Me and Amy will try and come up there later. But anywhoosies, thanks for listening. This is Nerd Stay Out. Peace out and stay nerdy.
Deuces.